Hey Scorpios, welcome to Vivid Vibration. My name is Christina. I hope that y'all are doing well. The village and the castle, the mask and the poet. That's where we're starting, I guess. The castle is the idea of destination stagnation. The village is the idea that, you can't get any bigger than the people around you. The mask is the idea that you have to put on a show. I have to dim my light. I have to dim my depth. I have to appear to be shallow. You know what I mean? Like, in order to exist in something that I think at one point in time you thought, like, this is what I would like to do. Because the castle is the idea of, people think that it looks like a great place to be, right? Like what? A knight in shining armor in a castle, right? And then you get to the castle and you're like, oh my God, it's drafty, it's cold, I hate it. Get me out. And so I feel like the idea is that, like, you wanted something until you got there. And then you very quickly realize it is not what you wanted at all. Because in being there, you were forced to really pretend to be somebody that you weren't. But I kind of want to say that it's given you, I just want to say, like, it's enhanced your story. It's like, I don't know, let's do clarifiers. But I feel like it's given you food for thought, new perspectives, better understanding. Let's see. The Hierophant, the Nine of Cups, all of these cards. Oh my God. No. Scorpios. Okay. Well, the Three of Swords and the Seven of Swords. Again, just this idea of all the reasons why you don't want to be a part of a community. All the reasons why, there was just a lot of manipulation. Having a full understanding of what that looks like, how it played itself out, and I want to say why you don't want anything to do with it, And Santa Muerta is the idea of rebirth. The Page of Pentacles is kind of on her way, and the King of Wands is like setting off. And again, Scorpio, I feel like, I don't know whose read this has been in. Maybe it's been in a Taurus read, but it has been something that showed up in the reads. It's just the idea of small beginnings, and it might not seem like it's a huge thing, but I think that it takes you in a direction that quickly becomes far bigger than you had originally anticipated. But when you originally accept this role or this whatever, it's something that isn't that big of a deal, but it resonates with you, right? You're like, yes, that would be sick. Of course I would do that. And you do it, not expecting for it to be this really big thing. And then somehow it becomes this really big thing. I love that. That's fun. Okay, let's see what else we can get for Scorpios. The Four of Cups, Strength, Temperance, Scorpios. Well, the Four of Cups is the idea that, like, the grass is not always greener on the other side of the fence. And yet, I'm so jelly of these people with their little, I don't even know what they are. They're not Jeeps, but they're like, they got big old tires on them, like, kind of like a go-kart, but cooler. I want one. Anyway, sorry. Grass is not always greener on the other side of the fence. And, it's just this idea of really having to find the strength to, I want to say, like, keep your balance, because I feel like the idea here, especially with Santa Muerta and the idea of rebirth, is that, you know, you've, like, in order to overcome manipulation, in order to overcome, you know, any kind of struggles that we encounter, we have to be like hella steady. And thankfully Scorpios are fixed signs, and so I feel like one of the strengths of being a fixed sign is that, like, you were the one who was steady digging, you know, like, okay, well, we need to build this foundation, so I'm just gonna be over here digging, right? And I feel like you guys have been over here digging, you know, like getting yourself set up for this next step so that you can really come back to life in a major way, you know, on a solid foundation, because you have a goal of a solid foundation, of removing the mask and finding the beauty in all of the bullshit, because there's been a lot of bullshit, but you haven't stopped preparing. Scorpios. The Queen of Cups, the Hermit, and the High Priestess. Well, yeah, but, like, you know, okay. Exactly. You have a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of understanding, a wealth of love that you're operating from, and you've had to pull away to really keep steady on that foundation, so that when the time came to go, there's some truth to stand on. But how is anybody going to know the truth if nobody keeps track of all the bullshit that gets thrown around mindlessly, aimlessly, uselessly? Scorpio. You're like, Jesus fuck. Why do I have to be the one to do this? Why am I the one that's responsible enough to do this? Because you're the one that's responsible enough to do it. You're the one insightful enough to pay attention to what the fuck's going on. You know, because everybody else is just on their own shit, you know, and you're the one who's minding everybody's business, you know, like, somebody's got to do it for them, you know what I mean? Like, they can't do it for themselves. I mean, that's kind of the feel, right? It's like, and that was in another one of your reads, not knowing how valuable you are until you really know how valuable you are. And I feel like there's an idea here of, like, things falling apart, and you were the one who held it together. You were the one that kept it together. And there is just a level of redemption that is like following suit. And I love that for my Scorpios. Shout out to my daddy. The Destroyer. Well, I mean, yeah, because I feel like the idea here is that nobody, like come for a Scorpio. You know what I mean? Like, Scorpios pay attention. And when you pay attention, then you're really hard to challenge. It's hard to challenge somebody who's paid attention the entire fucking time. You know what I mean? And I feel like Scorpios, there's no challenging what you bore witness to. The knowledge that you have, the awareness that you have. And the love that you operate from. And I feel like if anybody tries to do that, they're not bringing destruction on you, they're bringing destruction on themselves. But good riddance. You don't want those people with you anyways, right? Okay, Scorpio, well, I hope this resonates with you. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. Please give me a like, share, and subscribe, and I will see y'all again soon. Bye.